Good morning, hello, and welcome back to the Ars Nouveau server. This is Zeeg777, and welcome back to the base. There's a lot of things I want to do today, and quite honestly, I don't know where to begin. So last time I kind of made this just kind of off camera. It's a little plaza area. I'm not really happy with it. This is kind of where my beginning startup stuff was, so I had like a crop farm roughly here. Yeah, tore it out because I don't want a crop farm in the middle of my base, but I don't really know what I do want here. And another feature that I haven't really decided what I want to do with is this giant ravine here. Yeah, so it's sort of a nice feature for settling down near because it's easy to find on the map and just easy in general to work around. Big ravine. But I don't know what I want to do with it. I had been kind of playing around with using the void fog effect using some mana glass. Basically just layer the mana glass. And let's, can I fly? There we go. So just layers and layers and layers all the way down, and each layer gets successively darker, or fuzzier, blurrier, whatever, void. But the problem with that is I actually have other plans I want to do down here. I've cleared out a 4 chunk by 4 chunk area underneath my base here. Do I actually have a way of getting down? I don't know. I don't think I actually do. I think it's over here. So I've cleared out a big area underneath my base, which I'm planning to use for various automation things. Specifically, I had an idea for an item request system using a whole bunch of redstone, some corporea, and ender chests, as well as a create remote, to basically be able to give myself the ability to extract up to 128 different items from my main storage anywhere I am in the world. So basically I'd set up a system where I could press a button and it would send some random item, not random, but selected, to an ender chest or ender pouch that I'd keep on me. But it needs at least 4 by 4 area, 4 chunk by 4 chunk area. So it's going to be big. It's actually going to be quite a bit taller than this as well. But as you can see, there is a ravine in the middle of it. So I need to figure out what I want to do with this. Yeah, I don't know. One idea that I had was to basically make a kind of like a spring up there somewhere, have a waterfall come down, and then first my original thought was just have it go down and then kind of flood the whole bottom there and just leave it as a ravine. But obviously that doesn't work with my plans for my redstone project down there. So one of the other ideas I came up with last night, I was just kind of throwing random ideas around with Zacharias around. And my thought is still do the spring up there and have this whole thing, instead of being just a single waterfall, have it be more of like a rapids. So it would come down here, and then in the end over here, what I would do is get rid of this little plaza area and turn this whole area here into a big pond. So it's sort of the water comes down there into the pond. It's an idea. I'm going to kind of just play around with that, probably off camera doing some random things, but we'll see what I come up with. Well, we now have ourselves a pond. And you can see I've also kind of started work on the rough shape of some kind of cascades waterfall over there. Yeah, I still have a lot to do. I'm not entirely sure that I like this yet. I kind of like the idea of it, but I'm not sure if I maybe need to have this even bigger. Like if I need to have the pond go to like over here. The problem is if I'm up on the top here, oh, missed. If I'm, let's just fly. If I'm sitting up in this window or something, you can't even see the pond. So that's an issue, and if I have it go further that way, it may resolve that. It may just make me do more terraforming and not actually like it. So not entirely sure yet. For now I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to kind of play around with like a boardwalk type structure here, and maybe a building or two. These two things, the sand gen and the cobble gen, I need to put somewhere, not sure where. probably in a building over there. I'm not entirely sure yet. And then over here are the cascades. Untextured on everything. So basically I just got the basic structure of water coming down a hill, and my plan is then to kind of clean it up by making it messier, if that makes sense. Putting some cobblestone in here so it looks like there's actual rocks and stuff instead of just a plain stone water slide. Yeah, it's a work in progress. I do kind of like this little almost island right here, so I might build that up into like taller rocks there so it looks like it's kind of worn down past it. And all this waterfall, of course this, yeah, flat, that's not going to work. All of this is coming from a small little pond that I made up at the top here, so it's sort of like a mountain spring type thing. Maybe I'll dig this down a little bit further so it looks like it's coming more out of the ground. But basically it's just going to kind of flow down here. All the dirt, of course, is going to be turned into stone type blocks, whatever that may be. Yeah, so the basic idea is here, I just need to kind of make it look nice. Yeah. In the meantime, we have ourselves a nice little pond here. If we happen to need any fish, we can, of course, go fishing. So, yeah, that's fun. Lots of fish. Lots of dead fish. I've expanded the boardwalk area here just a little bit over to this side. And I think what I'm going to do is have this be kind of like a little, like a porch or front patio type thing for a building right here. My thought is I'll put a wall basically along here, have this be an entrance right here, so you kind of walk up the little walkway here, walk up and into a shop here. And I don't actually know what shop it's going to be yet, or really what I'm going to do at all with that. But what is going to happen is this stuff needs to go. For now, I'm at least going to get rid of the sand and cobble gens. I already emptied these out, so they're ready to go. So I'm just going to scoop that up, and I think just kind of fill this in. But that's not the right spell. Luckily this is in a claim, and so explosions are actually disabled in here. So I can blow it up all day and it won't actually do anything, which is useful. So fill that in, and I think, yeah. So I'm going to continue that. We're going to break the rest of that one over there as well. I do want to keep for now, I'm going to keep this warp rune just because I don't really have another place for it yet. And it also is by all these source jars. So this is eventually going to go as well. But for now, I'm going to leave it. So it has been a couple days here where I haven't really been able to do much recording. So we're going to just kind of get caught up. Right here, you can see we are sitting at 1, which is not good. I was hoping this would be more even, but it seems to not quite be. And apparently the one I'm chosen here to monitor is, yeah, it's low. The rest of them are pretty full though, as well as the rest of the 42 pools that are below. If we pop below here, we can see these guys are basically full. So we've got a lot of mana. For some reason the monitor just says 1 though, so that's the thing. Next up, I did move these barrels around a little bit. They were along the side here, little door dash. So I moved them around, and the reason for that is my carbuncles were getting confused. So these are all full now. Okay. We still have 4 more slots we can fill, but we'll get around to that later. And down here, I moved it. Hold up, why is there a carbuncle down here? That's a problem. Okay, so these guys in here, that's full. It's actually impressive that these are full. How are these full? you're stuck outside. Anyway, I came down here to show you that we have the registering containers here from Botania. These basically read the barrels up above there. He was having trouble pathfinding to get up top there. I had like a little walkway for him to walk up there to be able to reach them all, but he kept getting stuck. So instead I moved it down here so he doesn't have to move around much. I was kind of worried that that would happen because I do have the piston here is kind of accessible. So it means when it pushes out, it's actually open for, you know, half a tick or whatever. So apparently that was enough to get him stuck outside there. I think it's okay, because everything is full right now. Like, they have a kind of a built-in reach anyway, so he can kind of teleport, and I think if it's closer, then he'll teleport faster. So we're going to leave him there for now. We're just going to watch him and kind of monitor. So one thing that I notice each time I log in is that I'm generally low on the 3 cooked meats here. Berries, I've got a guy out there who just fills up a chest for me. But yeah, these meats, they keep getting low. So I've got 16,000 of those, that's fine, but these were not getting auto smelted. So I kind of worked a little bit on some logic for how to get this to work. And if we pop down below here, I've got a couple little modules built up. So I'm going to explain how they work. We have a depot from Create. These will store just a single stack of any one item. So now I've got a item frame on there that says, hey, put raw mutton into here, and there should be, hello there. This carbuncle goes over to the drawer subcontroller thingy here. He comes over and fills these up. So similar to over at Botania, where I had to have the chest filled up with stone, this kind of gets around that. It only fills up 1 stack, so that's all I need to really care about. Next up, I've got these on a 40-second clock. Might change the timer, might not sure. And then Corporeal Crystal Cube reading this, and a lever set for power of 9. I can't actually remember how much that is, but it's more than 0, so hey, that's really all I care about. And these here, these spell prisms, basically what it allows me to do is these are just firing up into my main smelter input chest. So every 40 seconds, we'll see a little burst of spell, power, magic, whatever you want to call it. It'll go along through these prisms and up into there. And the nice thing is they kind of work as like a collector of sorts. So you can have 2 turrets facing different directions, fires into here, which then fires out the side, which then of course hits here and it goes up into that chest. I'm surprised we haven't seen one yet. These guys, there we go. And then they fill up. So these aren't currently turned off because I don't have any power going into them because I don't have a reader on it. So I have 3 extra slots here of things I can automatically smelt when I get low. I don't really know what I want to put in here yet. But either way, we have steak, mutton, and pork chops are now auto smelting, so I don't need to actually really touch those ever again, which is, that's going to save me a lot of annoyance because it's kind of annoying when I log in each time and it's just kind of reset to 0. So then I have to throw a couple, 10, 20 stacks of food in there just to be able to keep our Botanian mana charging. I'm not sure why it keeps dropping down to 0, or 1 rather. Maybe it's people using the mana, and that's fine. I do want to find out if there's like a problem here, like a leak or something. I'm not sure if there's any losses in the system. There shouldn't be. But either way, if there is, I want to find it out. And while we're doing kind of a little recap of everything going on in the base and the server, this is a thing. So these are all empty, I think. And I say I think because every other jar is full. So these jars here are being filled from that. They are basically always full. That's down to 93. Okay, slightly troubling. So it's still getting source from here. Like, goes up to there, comes back over here into storage. These are all getting filled from the splitter here, or warp or whatever it's called. As well as we've got down below, we are getting power from the farms down here. These are all generating power as well. So, let's fly, please. There we go. So that's working. This is getting recharged from, I think, that one over there. Yeah, I just need to kind of monitor it as well. I want to make sure that I'm not going to be draining all of my source, which, I mean, it looks like I am. These things are recharging everywhere. These don't take that much power. I want to say it's 1% per Carby that runs over them. So that is the thing. I've got a couple of those kind of spread throughout. I think just this one, that one, 1, 2, 3, and 4 from one inside there. That might be causing it. I'm not really sure. I don't have any over here. The only thing using source over here is the Living Rock farm, which currently isn't running anyway. So, I don't know. It's not draining it there. I do guess that it's draining from the flight ritual here, so that's maybe something, but I don't know. It doesn't, I don't think I should be using that much power. But either way, we may revisit that later and build a different system or just build more over here anyway. Anyway, I'm not really sure, but it seems to be working for now. At least for now, it is fully charging these guys, so carbuncles can keep running, aim and base can keep running. So that's good, I guess. So in an effort to improve the source situation here, I'm going to try something. So I got myself 2 mycelial source links right there, and I'm going to feed a hopper into this pedestal here with a depot on top. And I think that is really all I need. So we're going to then, do I have an item frame on me? I do, perfect. So grab that, and I want a steak. I'd rather beef. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. Let's go over to storage and get one. I also want it to be cooked anyway, so that's fine. I need 1 steak, and I also need a carbuncle over here. You are in this chest. Grab 1 carbuncle. So you are going to be bringing stuff over to storage there. So we're going to grab from you to you, and then you will be dropping stuff off over here. So we'll go way over here. Ran out of food, cool. This gets an item frame on the side and some steak, and there. So he's going to be now running over here eventually. There he is. Okay. Ideally he'll run over this rune, but I'm not really sure if he will or not. Or he'll get stuck. Okay. There you go. He's coming. Do I have any dye on me? I don't think I do. But I think I can grab a beetroot if it pops in here. So he's going to be bringing steak over to that depot. Just going to be monitoring this for beetroot. And go back to storage, please. Alright, it's not going to go back to storage until this is empty. That's fine. I guess I could have actually just had him feed the hopper itself, because it's still going to fill up with beef anyway. This is going to keep filling up with steak. These guys are going to be eating it and powering these jars. So just kind of augments the source income there. Well, he certainly takes a sweet time running over there and back, but I think... Okay, so we're down to 20 steaks left. I think that's fine, actually. So it's gonna eventually fill up anyway. It looks like we're going to gain 20 steaks per cycle. So it takes him about, I guess, 44 steaks to run over there and back. Yes, that's an official number. But I think that'll work. So this is just extra power coming in. At some point it should fill these up. I don't really know. Hopefully it will. But yeah, it's just extra power. I did want to mention a small side project that I'm kind of working on off camera here. And that is I am attempting to see if I can make a Carbuncle Farm. So in order to do that, I think I need to blast out a whole perimeter. My idea is basically in the middle here, I would have a little, basically just a little grass platform down at Y3. And from there, I would be able to have a bunch of things spawning. So I'd stay basically in the middle there so that I'm out of range of everything else. And in theory, and again, it's sort of an experiment at this point of whether or not it will work even. In theory, passive mobs should be able to spawn. So my plan is basically I'm just going to be doing this for a little bit, kind of just off camera between takes or whatever. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it works. If you don't see it again, then it probably means it didn't work. But at least for now, it's kind of a small side project. So my little side project got picked up by the rest of the server. And as you can see, we've been pretty successful. We're down to Bedrock across the whole thing. And then over here is an interesting thing. If you notice, there's lots of bedrock through there. We've got dirt everywhere. But if you notice, there's a line here and over to that direction as well, and off in that corner, but you can't see it. Yeah, we have a way to remove bedrock. And that method is a archwood sapling. So I can show you down here. Let's just fly down. The grass there is for some testing, which is unfortunately not working at the moment. You can go away, please. You're not part of this test. So, I'm going to plant that right there. And we'll kill these guys, just get them out of the way. Okay. And let's go with you. We can clear you. Touch. Grow. That's it. Yeah, touch, grow. So, let's grow this tree. Nice little tree. And while we're at it, let's now switch to fell. Put some AoE on that as well. Poof. Bye-bye tree. And hold on. There were 3 bedrock here. I planted the sapling right there. These 4 squares now. Basically what happens with this tree is, due to bugs, it will change anything that's underneath it into dirt. So that could be bedrock. So like right here, it's surrounded by bedrock except for that one side there. Let's switch this out for something like grow, and then fell, a couple AoE on that. Now with this one, poof, gone. So basically what that allows us to do is we can pretty quickly just kind of go around, spam this grow spell. Let's remove a couple of AoE. And just kind of slowly delete the bedrock. The plan here, and it's kind of like it just kind of thrown out there of, hey, this is something that we could do. This is something that we have the possibility to do. And it seems to be people are doing it. I've got Silver Wolves right now, and Satcat is another guy who's been online helping with this project as well. Yeah, so we're going to see where this goes. We're going to kind of... The thing is, I'd like the bedrock to be flat. It doesn't need to be flat by any means, and originally when this was just kind of my own, side project, it didn't really matter as much that this would be a super tedious process, because it's just me. So I don't know if we actually will finish this project. We might, just because they're going along putting dirt everywhere here. But for now, this is a thing that we're doing. Unfortunately, though, the whole point of this project... Let me throw some stuff back to base. I'll keep the dirt, please. The whole point of this project is to see if we can get that to spawn. So let's... Yeah. There we go. Clear that one as well. So unfortunately, it doesn't seem to actually be working. Let's get him to come up here with us. And the main reason why I think it is not working is there are still loaded chunks. So if we go to Forge Entity List, we can look at what all is loaded. And we have 148 chickens, let's see, 58 cows, 53 sheep, 52 slime I don't care about, 26 pigs. So I did unload back at my base. I unloaded the area of my little source area. Where is my base? So this building here, I unloaded this whole section. So in theory, these guys should not be counted in that list, but we still have spawn chunks to worry about. Silver City doesn't have any at his base. But yeah, so I think that's kind of the problem here. Silver's saying that if the whole thing's grass, it may be more effective. Maybe? But honestly, I know that's not going to work if there's all the other passives that are loaded, because the whole point of this is that nothing else can spawn. So for hostile mobs, that's fine. If you go out of a certain distance, then they'll disappear. Like those guys should be disappearing. Actually, they won't until you go up higher. Everything else outside there, no hostiles can spawn. But passives don't actually despawn on their own, so they are still loaded and they're still down there. Well, they're still over there somewhere. So unfortunately, it seems like my plan is not going to really work here. Passive mob spawns, they have their own mob cap, but the problem is since they do not despawn on their own, it means that they're not going to actually really spawn anywhere. So if I'm admin here, so I can go Forge, Entity, List, and basically there's a ton of passive mobs right here, especially 147 chickens. So we're already at the passive mob cap, which means that, yeah, that's not going to work. I was hoping it would. In the meantime, we have a rather large area here that is completely cleared down to bedrock. We tried having some grass here to see if that would improve passive mob spawns, and it didn't really. The main thing is it started spawning thousands of slime, which, okay, cool. But not what we needed. So I was hoping to be able to farm carbuncles, but it's seeming like that's not really going to work. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish at least taking this chunk. This is the middle chunk here. I'm going to have it go not all the way down. I think I'm just going to do this last layer here. This is at level 3, so then I'll have a layer at level 2. So, you know, kind of cool thing, I guess. I don't know. There's not really a purpose to it at this point, but it's sort of a. I started. I want to finish it. I would like to get the entire thing down to Bedrock. Not Bedrock, all the way down to like 1 or 2. I think that'd be kind of interesting. We had kind of discussed a potential option if this didn't work was to make just a full like void area here and have our own little skyblock area. So that is something that we could do. Not sure though. Unfortunately, that does mean that I've kind of wasted most of the time for this episode doing something that didn't actually work. So, like I said, I'm going to finish doing this chunk, at least this layer, just because I started it, so I want to finish this one chunk at least. But I think we're going to call it for an episode. It's kind of been all over the place today. I do apologize for that. But, you know, it's kind of, this is meant as a test server, so I wanted to kind of test a few things here and there, seeing what all we could do. But I think that's going to be it for this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.